everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm the GCSE science teacher. Happy New Year. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video, we're going to talk about how to be that student, get the best grade you can in GCSE science. These are tips that I have created or cultivated over a long time as being a student myself at GCSE, A-level and university, but also as a teacher, some of the tips that I have helped and given to students, but also some tips that they have shared with me. So I hope you find the video helpful. If you do, give it a like, comment down below any of your tips, and subscribe, join our community. So just a bit of a background to me, you can see these are the different qualifications, different things that I've done as a student myself. I'm now a real life science teacher, and we're going to get into the first tip. So first thing you want to do is make sure you know what your exam board is. Are you doing AQA? Are you doing high combined, triple science, EdXL? It's too much. Figure out and find out what exam board you're studying for. The best people to find that have the answers for this are your class teachers, your head of science, or even going on the school website and finding this information out. A lot of schools will actually tell you what the exam board is. So definitely find out as soon as you get back to school, or even now you could probably find it out if you have access to your school website. Once you found out that, this is the next thing you need to do. Okay, so maybe you're studying AQA. If you are, you'll have different versions of that exam. The higher level the exam, the more content you'll need to know. And that is really important because it means that you'll need to study a lot more information and therefore you'll have a longer exam, things like that. So there's some things to consider. Also, some of these exam versions will actually have longer papers. So in the example of AQA, you have triple science or single science. You'll do 6 papers. All of them are 1 hour and 45 minutes long. And they all contain information that is additional to the other exam versions. So that means you can get 3 GCSEs, 1 in biology, 1 in chemistry, and 1 in physics. And that's really helpful for students who want to do A levels. Higher combined, by the way, is also a really good option if you want to do your A levels, but you do learn less information and you only get 2 GCSEs. Albeit everything I've said so far, you can get up to a grade 9, but you're going to have a bigger gap if you do higher combined, whereas triple scientist, you will be a bit closer to that A level gap. In terms of foundation combined, if you're studying AQA, you can get up to a grade 5 and you can get 2 GCSEs. You're essentially combining your biology, chemistry, and physics grades. All of these papers, you have 6 of them, 2 for biology, 2 for chemistry, and 2 for physics, but they will be a shorter paper. So the combined sciences, the higher and foundation, each paper is actually an hour, 15 minutes long. And like I said, I know I'm talking about a lot of different things right now. I will link all of these resources and things I'm talking about in the description box below. So tip number 2 is active learning, and it's something you've probably heard of before, but how do we actually do that? One thing I will say is activating your notes. If you've made lots of notes, you want to start creating questions from them. By all means, keep your notes, make some more of them, but use them to make quizzes for yourself, use them to test other people. You can make flashcards. There are loads of notes, by the way, that are already created online. So if you are someone that doesn't want to make loads of notes or doesn't know how to start, you can use the ones that are already online. There are loads of knowledge organizers. I'll link some for you to help you with your revision. If you are someone who doesn't know where to begin, but you know quite a lot of information, but you don't know where to apply your knowledge, and you're finding that you're struggling to answer questions, the best thing to do is actually go to your past papers, read the mark schemes, look at the terminology that your exam board expects you to use. That way you can actually improve your understanding and improve your academic ability. Also, examiner reports. These are kind of like a summary of each question that the examiner has found most students have made a mistake on. That is something that is very useful. Teachers like myself will use this. So something that you can actually access yourself as well. So I'll link those sorts of things in the description box too. And then lastly, I often say to my students, the blurting technique. This is where you get a piece of paper, you write in the center a topic, I don't know, photosynthesis, and you give yourself 2 minutes, write as much as you can about that topic. It could be anything, diagrams, keywords, symbols, pictures, that kind of thing. And then you pause the timer, you look at what you've got and add anything extra that you didn't actually have on there as well. And then just a little bonus one is cross-curricular. So if you're someone who really struggles to get into the spirit of revision and you just feel like you've got other things to do and you don't really like science, which I don't think that's the case. I think you do, because you wouldn't watch this video if you didn't really like science. But let's say you're not really a keen fan of it, what you could do is look at the hobbies that you currently have. So I remember I had a student who really loved comics and really loved anime, but they were struggling with science. And I found a resource for them that was actually a comic book version of scientific information. I'll link it for you in the description. That really helped them get into the spirit of revision. It didn't even feel like revising, is what they said to me. Another student I used to teach absolutely loved art, and they would draw these beautiful diagrams of different things, different pictures. So I said, why don't you draw diagrams of human anatomy and plant biology? And they made some amazing posters and displays that I put up in my classroom. And honestly, that really helped them understand key terms very well. So that is something you could also do. And then another student I used to have really loved sports, really was a big football fan, loved running as well. And I said, why don't you download podcasts on your phone as you're running and you can listen to the revision as you go? So there are so many revision resources out there. It's just knowing what works best for you. Tip number 3, pace yourself. You probably heard this before. You start revising, you feel overwhelmed, it's getting too much. Where do you begin? Oh my goodness. Key thing for you, get your specification out. What is it you actually need to learn? And what is it you actually already know? That will make you feel better. So the specification, I'll link it below for you. An example and where to get it. You essentially, as teachers, we have this information of what we need to teach you guys. This document will tell you line for line what actually you need to know. So you can cross reference it yourself, and you can rag rate it. So red, amber, green. Okay. So red means I have no idea about this topic. I really need to revise it. Amber is I kind of remember that. And green is this is amazing. I know this. Perfect. Okay. So have a go at doing that task before you even start revising. That way you can prioritize what needs to be done. The other thing I will say is consistency over perfection. Even if one day you can only do 5 minutes, that is far better than having to do an hour here, an hour there, and feeling just kind of let down with yourself if you don't stick to this rigid plan. You got to enjoy the process, give yourself regular breaks, congratulate yourself that you're even looking to revise. These are big milestones, especially for some people who really do struggle with this, okay? Also, if you are someone who really struggles and you get easily distracted, airplane mode is your best friend, okay? That is going to be your bestie. Turn airplane mode on your phone. It will block out any of these notifications on TikTok and Instagram and all these other things. So you have some time where you are focusing on your revision. And then the last one is textbooks. Textbooks are not a bad thing. They get a bad rap that textbooks and notes are seen as a bad thing. If you are just doing past paper questions and you're finding that you're getting demoralized because you're not getting many things right, it's probably because you need to go back and actually revise it and actually learn it again. Do that first, then attempt it so you build your confidence up. Tip number 4, progress is what you don't see. Oh my goodness, the amount of students that come to me and go, Miss, it's so easy for so and so. They just get it. I can't do it. I'm not good at science. And my answer is, it is. You are good at science. It's just that progress is what you don't see. In the classroom, you have 1 hour of a lesson and you go about your day. If you're lucky, you have a couple of science lessons or a few science lessons a week. But progress is what you don't see. Sometimes you might have a teacher that's off, absent, or you might miss a lesson, or you didn't quite understand something in the class. That is so important that you follow up. Go and do some revision after it. Go and do some revision as soon as you can to solidify your understanding, because the progress you make outside of the classroom is just as important as the progress you make in the classroom. And I really do believe this, especially as we get to A level. If you want to do A level, any subjects, you have to put the work in outside the lesson. So the students that I've taught in the past, they say that sometimes they get up 10 minutes earlier to do some revision. They will teach their younger sibling, which is so sweet. Some of them will say they watch videos, they revise on the bus, they have a 30-minute commute every day back and forth. So they will do some revision there with their flashcards. Some students are super dedicated. They will make revision timetables in September. Whatever it is that you can do, even if it's just 5 minutes extra, it will make the biggest difference. Progress is what you don't see. And then tip number 5 is to stay true to yourself. If you know that you want to do medicine, or you want to go to Oxford or Cambridge, or you have this amazing this amazing idea that you want to become a entrepreneur, start your own business. Maybe you just are really passionate about getting the best grade you can. You want to make yourself proud. Whatever it is that you feel passionate and happy about, stay true to yourself. Those are your goals. Focus on your hobbies. Focus on your goals. Focus on the things that actually matter. Lots of the time students will say to me that they've fallen out with someone, they're not friends with this person, and it's a lot of drama, and they've then got their GCSEs as well. Being a teenager is difficult. There is a lot of things going on, but focus on what your priorities are. If it means that you are having to prioritize your revision over drama and other things that don't matter in the long term, that is a good thing. Focus on your revision, focus on yourself, and stay around people that keep you uplifted, happy, content, safe. Those are the sorts of things that are going to get you the best grades. And like I say, overall, look at the goal that you want. So if your goal is to become a NASA aerospace scientist, focus on that goal, look at how you get there, work backwards, and that way you can know what you need to do and prioritize. Not just science, but mainly science. It's a good subject. And then, as a bonus tip, if any of you have stayed, thank you so much for watching until the end. This is bonus tip for you. And these are a couple of quotes from students that I've had. So the first one, it says, "You're never going to want to revise. There's always going to be something more interesting to do, or a reason to do it tomorrow." That was from a year 11 student I used to teach. And it just stuck with me. It's so true. You're never going to want to revise. Nobody wants to, not really. There's always something more interesting to do. But someone else said, "Just do a bit." That was a year 10 student. It's so true. Just do a bit, a little bit, 5 minutes. It makes a massive difference. If you do 5 minutes over time, it adds up to hours and hours. And this is another quote. This isn't from a student. This is from something I heard the other day, and it was, "Discipline is the currency of success. Motivation will come and go. You'll feel motivated, you won't feel motivated, but discipline, getting up every day and revising, even if it's 5 minutes, like I say, will make the biggest difference." So go for it. You can do it. You got this. And that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. I've been the GCSE science teacher, and you have been curious. If you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and support this community by doing so. Let's make a conversation down in the comments below. What are your study tips? What do you do? It would be great to share some of your ideas with other people and support everyone along the way. If you did like the video, I will be making some more in the new year for biology, chemistry, and physics. Normal revision. If you have any other revision requests, or you have any video requests, if you like this sort of thing, let me know as well. Tell me in the comments, and I will link all those things that I talked about in this video in the description box. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.